Hello FLA, Coach Sue's here for you today, and today's video is going to be a little bit more for the ladies. We're going to be talking about the effects of menstrual cycle on performance and general strength. Thankfully, lately, there's been more and more studies conducted to find out how our menstrual cycles affect our performance and just general, training. And we can say that we might have some data suggesting a few things. So I have this meta-analysis here that kind of is taking information from a lot of the studies, combining them, and finding ways like how they might agree or disagree with each other, and putting it all together. And they've taken studies from starting from probably the 60s all the way up to recent times. And what they were testing was literally the different phases of our menstrual cycle, how they're affecting different performance indicators. I'm not going to bore you with the details of a number of people, how they did it, whatever was happening, but I'm going to share the findings. So what they pretty much found out is that peak performance is probably best around your late follicular phase. Now, can we apply it somehow? Generally, probably not. Here's the thing about these studies. There's a lot of nuance around here. We know that not all menstrual cycles can be regular. Even for the same female, there can be changes within the menstrual cycle to menstrual cycle. Ideally, obviously, you want it to have regular, but things happen, and it's very hard to determine these things. But generally, what do these findings mean for us as women? To be honest, not much. I've seen around the internet and social media world, now they're selling programs for different, trained for your different phases of menstrual cycles and all that. Generally, I'm pretty sure us women, if we pay enough attention to our menstrual cycle and to whatever's going on with our bodies, we're the best ones to determine when we're feeling good and when we're feeling worse. I personally know that yes, there are times when I'm just not at my top. Other days, I can feel like I'm probably the strongest that I've ever been, and it feels great. And I know it comes in cycles, right? But that's very natural and that's very normal. Would I recommend training around your menstrual cycles? Probably not. Again, just train, lift some weights. It doesn't matter if your effort feels a little bit heavier today just because you're in that phase. That's totally fine. There will come a day when you're feeling a little bit better. Everyone's going through phases of a training when they're just trainings is just nah, or it feels great, right? It's good to pay attention to these things, but for yourself as for you personally, because again, we're all different. So I wouldn't necessarily apply all these umbrella findings to basically every single woman. Last thing we need is, again, prescription for, today you're day 3 of your follicular phase. Don't you ever go heavy on those back squats. Just an example, right? No, probably not. That's probably not a good idea how to apply it. Can it make you get better if you, get into the nitty-gritty of it and get super detailed and all that? There is a slight potential, right? But again, it's a lot of trial and error. It requires you to be really good at tracking your menstrual cycle. It requires a lot, of tracking to understand where your body is at the moment, right? Because sometimes the menstrual cycle or one cycle can be longer than the other. So your ovulation is in a different place than it was last month. So a lot of nuances here, a lot of things that, it's, yeah, just to kind of keep it short and simple. This is probably not something you have to worry about unless, obviously, you strongly feel the effects of your cycle affecting your training. In that case, figure out what's going on, figure out where you're feeling the best, figure out when it's pretty much debilitating for you to even train or get out of bed, then I'm totally fine with it. Totally, great. Other than that, if you're wanting to, improve your performance by maybe 1 to 3%, if you're a performer or an athlete, yeah, maybe you could try it. But again, there are other ways that you can probably get more out of your training. So, do we know enough menstrual cycles and performances? For now, there still might be things that we could look into, but again, I'm a strong advocate for women to pay attention to their own bodies, and if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. If something doesn't feel like you should be training today, going heavy today, probably shouldn't. That's fine. Do it tomorrow when you're feeling better. There you go. If you guys have any questions, pop them in the comments, and I will speak to you soon. Have a good day.